Hello, my dear angling friends. Your favorite fishing expert is back, and today we're diving deep into the forecast for a very specific, and I might add, intriguing day. The 13th of January 2026, across our beautiful Emerald Isle Island. Now, some might say winter fishing is only for the brave, but I say it's for the smart, the patient, and those who truly understand what makes our finned friends tick. This particular Tuesday is shaping up to be a day of subtle hints and rewarding moments for those willing to decipher the signs. So if you've been wondering whether to dust off your gear or stay by the fire, stick with me, because I'm going to share some insights that might just get you out on the water and into some fantastic winter action. Let's jump straight into what's biting and where to find them, based on the conditions we're seeing for the 13th of January 2026. This is a day that truly favors the patient and prepared angler, so let's get tactical. First up, and always a winter favorite, are the magnificent pike. These freshwater predators absolutely do not mind the cold one bit. On the 13th of January, they'll be actively cruising the larger lofts and slower-moving rivers across Ireland. My experience tells me to focus on deeper water, particularly along drop-offs, any remaining weed beds that still offer cover, and submerged features like old river bends or sunken trees. Why there, you ask? Because the colder water pushes their prey, smaller baitfish, into these more stable, deeper zones, and pike, being the opportunistic hunters they are, will follow. For tackle, a sturdy spinning rod with a medium-heavy action is ideal. Think big, soft plastics around 6 to 8 inches, retrieved slowly along the bottom. Dead baits like sardines or mackerel, fished on a ledger rig in deeper spots, can also be incredibly effective. Let the bait do the work, friends. Slow and steady wins the race with winter pike. Remember, they're conserving energy, so a tantalizingly slow presentation is key. Next, for those dedicated and brave enough, we have the majestic Atlantic salmon, specifically the early running springers. January 1st traditionally marks the opening of the salmon season on a handful of Ireland's iconic rivers, such as the Drowse in the northwest or the River Lawn in County Kerry. These fish are true fighters and are often some of the largest of the season. You'll need to target deeper pools and runs, especially those with good holding water after any recent rains. Fly fishing with heavy flies like a black-eyed prawn or willy gun, or spinning with classic salmon lures like a Toby or flying sea can be productive. The key here, from my experience, is immense patience and a deep understanding of your chosen river. These early fish are often just moving through, so it's all about being in the right place at the right time, presenting your offering perfectly, and waiting for that telltale pull. They're not actively feeding as much as migrating. And finally, for my sea angling companions, orchid and whiting are definitely on the cards along the Irish coast. The relatively warmer sea temperatures around our coasts, thanks to the Gulf Stream, mean these coastal opportunities are always there, even in the depths of winter. Cod fishing can be excellent, especially on the south coast, particularly after a good storm has stirred up the seabed, uncovering tasty morsels. Whiting are readily available from beaches and rocky headlands, especially where there's a good surf running. Simple bottom rigs with lugworm, ragworm, or strips of mackerel are your best bet. A little trick I've picked up: try a cocktail bait, combining a piece of squid with a lugworm for extra scent and appeal. The colder water means they will be less active, so a good scent trail is absolutely crucial to draw them in. Look for areas with deeper water close to shore or structure where these species might be sheltering. Now let's break down the conditions that are shaping our day on the 13th of January 2026, so you understand why these tactics are going to work. The weather. We're looking at a generally cold but clear winter's day across Ireland. In places like Dublin, we can expect air temperatures to reach a high of around 10 degrees Celsius during the day, dropping to about 4 degrees Celsius overnight. Crucially, the forecast for Dublin suggests 0 millimeters of precipitation, meaning no rain. This often translates to stable conditions which, while cold, can be beneficial. Wind speeds for Ireland generally average around 31.3 kilometers per hour for this time of year, so expect a noticeable, possibly brisk wind. While specific pressure data isn't available this far out, stable high pressure often accompanies clear, dry spells in winter. These colder, clearer conditions can mean fish become less active and seek deeper, more stable thermal refuges. Water temperature. This is a critical factor, my friends. Water in Irish coastal areas will be around 9 to 10 degrees Celsius on average. Inland lakes and rivers, however, will be significantly colder, likely ranging from 0 to 5 degrees Celsius, depending on their size and flow. Remember, water takes longer to warm and cool than air, so while the air is chilly, the water is relatively more stable, but still significantly cold for fish metabolism. This means fish will be conserving energy, making them less inclined to chase fast-moving baits. Slow, deep tactics become not just an option, but an absolute necessity. Moon phase. On the 13th of January 2026, well be under a waning crescent moon, the moon will be around 22 to 27% illuminated and is about 24 to 25 days old. This is 2 days past the last quarter moon, and we're heading towards the new moon, which is about 5 days away. Many anglers believe that a waning moon, especially after a full moon, can lead to a period of slower activity as fish may have gorged during brighter nights. Popular fishing lore often associates the days immediately preceding a new moon with a slightly tougher bite, as the moon's gravitational pull for tides is at its weakest, leading to neap tides and potentially less feeding activity. However, some deep water species, particularly predators, might still be active. Overall fish activity. Given the cold air temperatures, very cold water, and a waning crescent moon, overall fish activity across Ireland on the 13th of January will be on the capricious to moderate side. The cold temperatures will generally slow things down, and fish will be in their winter holding patterns, feeding, but not voraciously. However, the stable weather conditions and the prospect of a new moon approaching can offer a glimmer of hope for dedicated anglers. Predatory species like pike and early salmon, along with hardy sea species like cod and whiting, are still very much catchable if you adapt your tactics. The fish are conserving energy, so the key, my friends, is to slow down your presentation, be prepared for subtle takes, and fish those deeper, more stable environments. It's a day for the patient and prepared angler, but those who put in the effort could be handsomely rewarded. So, my friends, while Tuesday, the 13th of January 2026, might not be a throw-a-line anywhere and catch fish kind of day, it's certainly not one to stay home from. With the right tactics, plenty of patience and a bit of determination, you could land a fantastic winter specimen. I wish you all tight lines and glorious catches. Nimheide na lana aisk. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this forecast helpful. Subscribe to the channel for more angling insights and tell me in the comments below, what are your go-to winter fishing spots in Ireland and what's your secret weapon for those chilly days? Tight lines, everyone.